Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by. Welcome to the Mitchell versus Banks conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, there will be an opportunity for live questions and comments. Instructions will be given at that time. As a reminder, this call is being recorded. I would now like to turn the conference call over to our host, Kelly Swanson. Kelly, please go ahead.
Thank you, operator. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us here on Monday afternoon on the East Coast and still morning on the West. We are delighted to have with us today two unbelievable American heavyweights, both in Seth Mitchell and Johnathon Banks, who are gearing up to fight each other this Saturday as the co-main event of the ADRIEN Broner Antonio DeMarco WBC Lightweight World Championship. Both of the fighters are on the phone, as well as Dave Iskowicz from Golden Boy Promotions and Tom Loeffler from K2 Promotions. So I'm going to turn it over to Dave, and he will make the introductions, and Tom will also help him. So, Dave, go ahead.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We're very excited about the show this weekend. Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Our main event is Adrien Broner versus Antonio DeMarco for the WBC Lightweight World Championship. And, of course, our co-main event is Seth Mitchell versus Johnathon Banks, a 12-round fight for Mitchell's NABO and the vacant WBC International Heavyweight Championship. Saturday, November 17th at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. The event is presented by Golden Boy Promotions and R&R Promotions in association with Gary Shaw Productions, sponsored by Corona, AT&T, and Caesars Atlantic City. We're going to be televised live on HBO World Championship Boxing beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. We have great seats still available, starting at just $25. We're extremely excited to be back in Atlantic City, especially in light of recent events. And in that vein, in an effort to raise funds for Hurricane Sandy relief, Golden Boy is going to be donating $2 for every ticket sold and $1,000 per knockout registered during the event to the Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City. Oscar De La Hoya and Caesars Atlantic City are going to match those funds and add to the donation. So we're happy to be doing something for the community, happy to be bringing a big event to Atlantic City. They had a Carrie Underwood concert this weekend, and from what I understand, the turnout was great. So Atlantic City is up and running and open for business. Now to turn things over to the fighters, now to introduce Johnathon Banks, I'd like to introduce Tom Loeffler, who is the managing director of K2 Promotions, who is Banks' promoter. Tom?
Thank you, David. We're really excited to be involved with this event. I think you have two great young American heavyweights fighting each other. Seth Mitchell obviously has gotten a lot of exposure recently on HBO. Johnathon has been fighting quite a bit on our big Klitschko events over in Europe. Although he did come up through the Kronk system in Detroit, had an outstanding amateur career, and I think the winner of this fight can clearly be considered the best American heavyweight out there. It's an exciting complement to the main event, which Adrien Broner is clearly one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the lightweight division. So we're excited about it. Johnathon had a really big night last Saturday where he got a lot of publicity, actually more publicity as a trainer than as a fighter, where he trained Vladimir Klitschko for his successful World Championship defense last Saturday. So with all that being said, I want to introduce Johnathon Banks from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Hello, everybody. Once again, Tom, like Tom said, this is Johnathon Banks. I look forward to this fight. It's been a long time coming. Keep backing up. We kept changing the dates, but and I'm just looking forward to it. I know Seth is looking forward to the fight. He's a fighter. I'm a fighter. I believe I can say this for both of us. We both just really looking forward to Saturday night.
Okay, thank you, Johnathon. Now to make a few statements, I want to introduce a fighter that all of us at Golden Boy are very proud to work with. We believe he is the future of the heavyweight division. He's a former standout Michigan State University linebacker who found his true calling in the boxing ring. He's quickly becoming the kind of fighter that we believe can reinvigorate the heavyweight division in the United States and around the world. Recently, he blasted through top contenders Timur Bragamov and Chaz Witherspoon in a combined 5 rounds. The latter fight showing that not only has the power, but the heart to succeed. With a record of 25-0-1 with 19 knockouts from Brandywine, Maryland, Mr. Seth Mayhem Mitchell.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the introduction. I want to thank everybody that joined in on the conference call. Obviously, I want to thank Golden Boy. I want to thank my team for allowing me to have another opportunity to perform on this big stage. I'm excited. Like Jonathan said, this fight has been postponed for a while. The first time it was due to a hand injury that I had gotten in my fight against Chaz Witherspoon. But on record, my hand feels great. I've been training very hard. Again, very excited for this fight, very motivated. It's going to be a good fight. I respect Johnathon Banks. He has a lot to bring to the table. But at the end of the day, I truly believe in my heart that I'll be victorious. Whatever he comes to the table with, I'll be able to respond. My trainer, not Andre Hunter, we have about 3 or 4 game plans. And, it's going to be, I don't know if you can tell by the excitement in my voice, but I'm ready to show up on the 17th. This is the stage that I want to be on. I believe it's my time. I think that, I don't talk much. I'm very humble, but I believe in myself, and I believe that I have the capability and the tools to become heavyweight champion in the world. And on the 17th, Johnathon Banks is just another step, another hurdle that I got to get over. I'm not underestimating him. I expect him to bring his A game, and with the unfortunate passing of Emmanuel Stewart, may his soul rest in peace, that probably is going to bring, more excitement and more, enthusiasm out of Johnathon Banks, which is only going to make for a better fight. But at the end of the day, my hand will be raised. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining in on the phone call, and tune in. If you can't be there on the 17th, definitely tune in, because it's going to be a hell of a night of boxing.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Seth. Okay, operator, if we want to open it up now to question and answer, so if you could prompt the press, and then I will actually be the first one asking a question. So go ahead.
Great. If you would like to ask a question or have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. This will place your questions in the order they were received. Again, if you would like to ask a question or have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad now.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Seth Mitchell a question. Unfortunately, a member of the boxing media was unable to be a part of this call, so I have been asked to ask you, as it's been mentioned time and time again, you were a football player with Michigan State University and Division I football player at that, and very successful. And then you transitioned into boxing. And what has that transition been like for you? What are the parts that maybe are the easiest, the hardest parts, and the most unexpected about transitioning from football to boxing? Seth?
The easiest, well, nothing is really easy, but I think the hardest part of transitioning was learning to relax, learning to, slow down and to have balance and just throw punches and combination. Nothing is easy from transferring over to boxing. The only thing, 2 things that I think have been an easier transition, me playing middle linebacker, knowing that the tracks of the running backs, having to fill those holes and, having to cut those running backs off, I consider myself to be one that cuts the thing off very well. So I think that definitely carried over in my boxing career. And being able to take instruction from my trainer in the corner, and go out and implement them in the ring, I think that definitely helped me from football. You can go over, in football, you pretty much know what a team is going to do by their formation and things of that nature. So you practice that all week, and then on Saturday, when you go out there, they could line up in that formation and run something totally different. And when you go to the sideline, the coaches say, forget everything that we taught you this week, this is what they're doing, and you have to go over there and have courage and play it out. So I